Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
All right, before getting court back in session. Have a seat.
All right, appearances for the people versus, is it Lagarde?
Yes.
Thank you, Robert. Stephen Gale, on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Leanna Belcher, P 80177. On behalf of Mr. Lagarde, may I state your name for the record? Leanna Lagarde.
All right, I understand we've got a plea worked out.
That is correct. Your Honor. The date and for bench trial, depending when.
Ms. Lagarde, go ahead and have a seat.
We did reach a resolution. My understanding of the plea is my client would be pleading guilty to the original count of domestic violence that would be deferred under 769-4A with a 6-month probationary term. And then the people did agree at the end of that probationary term that my client's firearm that was taken as part of her arrest would be returned.
Your Honor, the notification of legal counsel is correct and accurate. Judge, we know that you make the call on sentencing. We're hoping here that you'll sentence immediately. We have our victim here.
Okay. Okay.
Secondly, Judge, turns out sentencing, at least the first meeting with probation, first month to reporting, and then probation into will determine whether she needs additional.
Okay. Ms. Belcher, you okay with an immediate sentencing, or do you think we need to do a PSI?
It would be okay with immediate sentencing, and that would allow her to have that deferral enter faster so that she could obtain employment.
Okay. All right. Ms. Lagarde, you understand your rights and options? You understand your rights and options. You understand the possible penalty for the charge. And understanding all of this, are you pleading guilty to the charge? Are you doing so freely and voluntarily? Ms. Belcher, would you voir dire to get me my facts? November 25 is the offense date.
Yes. And that's November 25th, 2025, for new app or near location of 38590 Abilene, A-B-I-L-E and E Street in the city of Romney, County of Wayne. Yes. Ma'am, and is it true at that location that you would resided with an individual by the name of Leah, last name of Hay? Yes. Okay, and you guys were roommates? Yes. And is it true, ma'am, that on that day that you guys got into a verbal altercation? Yes. And at some point during that verbal altercation, is it true that you put your hands on Miss McKay without her permission? Yes. Is that so?
Just satisfied.
So is the court. What should I know before I sentence Ms. Belcher?
Would you like to prove the
You don't have to jump up. I'm sorry, say that again.
Would you like to prove the victim's impact statement before?
I don't care either way. Victim, where's victim at? Victim?
Sure. Her name is Leah McKay. She's here.
Ms. McKay, is there anything you want me to know before I sentence?
But I can tell you that the defendant and the complaining witness were best friends for a long time. They put together. They had a great friendship, and they still like one another. So maybe you can help me.
I feel like there was a misunderstanding. And it could have been communicated a little bit better, but we don't have to be here. Boundaries were crossed that didn't need to be crossed. I'm heartbroken right now talking to you. I don't want to ruin her life. I don't want her to have to deal with this for the rest of her. She has 2 children that I look at like my nieces. I love Miss Lagarde. I hate that we here. So please, like, I don't want you to be super hard on it. Like, and that's just me as a friend and sister, dog. I want to see her win. I want to see her do good in life. I don't want to see her down bad or in a bad position. We always been there for each other. I'm talking about like, drop up a call. And I will always be there for her. And I just want you to know that. Like, there's no ill.
No, I appreciate it.
No ill will to her time. I could have made a bad decision that night too. I chose not to, and that's why we're here. Like, I love you, more. At the end of the day, that's what I have to say.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Your Honor, Ms. Lagarde was arrested and charged with the that has been pending on her record for quite some time. As the court may recall, I'm not the original attorney.
Yeah.
She did have to get counsel for whatever reason with the original attorney. We did have some delays with the trial date that were attributed to me and my surgery. One we attributed to the people because we converted the trial date to a final pre-trial. Ms. Lagarde did accept responsibility for her actions. As you've heard, these 2 individuals were best friends. However, because of the amount of time that this case has been pending, Ms. Lagarde has lost her job. She has not been able to get employment.
Where was she working?
I was working for Evolution, I was the game presenter for, like FanDuel.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
As you've heard, she has 2 small children that she's responsible for. She's now 3 months behind on her rent. She's in a very bad spot financially. We would ask that you want to take that into consideration. She did accept responsibility in this matter for her actions. This was something that probably escalated, that should have never escalated on both sides. And if they work this out in the future going forward, hopefully they never have this issue again. What I would like to see happen is that the court could waive any of the fines and costs so that Ms. Lagarde doesn't fall any further.
I'm shocked, I say.
You know me too well, Judge.
Go ahead.
But as the people had indicated, they wanted Ms. Lagarde to report for at least one of those probationary visits. She has not had any bond violations. She has no criminal history. I don't know how much supervision she really needs, Your Honor, but she's willing to comply and not break any laws for 6
Right.
months. But I would ask after that first visit, if there's no issues, that you convert it to non-reporting probation.
Where you living?
She, if I may. I'm
Yeah, that's all right.
Mother's address on the advice and rights form. She does have a separate address, just due to the relationship between these two individuals right now. If it's okay, you can tell the court off the record.
Geographically. I don't need an address. Okay, all right. And you're not working now?
I think it would be like, it's her.
Okay, so the tangent alert. Okay, this got nothing to do with sentencing. Before you get out of my building, go down and talk to Avery Taylor, and if he's at lunch, get a card so you can call him and ask him about jobs in the area. All right? Tissue boy.
We're gonna have that to.
You got one right in front of you. All right, is there anything you want me to consider before I sentence you?
Yeah, I think it was, well, I just want the court to know that I'm truly sorry for this time. I'm so embarrassed. My 2 little girls mean everything to me. The only thing I feel like I'm really lacking is I can't pay these bills. Like, I can't catch up since this. I am taking them to Florida on Thursday. We'll be gone for 4 days. We deserve to laugh. So I just want to say thank you for your time.
Okay. Miss McKay. She's under my thumb. I can make her do some things. I want you to do some things. You guys willing to go to a couple sessions of counseling together?
It's supposed to be on. We can sit down and have a conversation.
Does she need anger management? All right, here's what I'm going to send you to do then. Miss McKay, come on up here. Get her, Joe. Come on, all the way. Okay. You guys spend my $25 gift card, spread it out over as much time as you can, and have some sessions, just you 2 girls. Find somebody for the kids, okay? You're gonna, what's that? Say, I didn't hear you.
Sir, I need someone there, like, immediately.
You okay with that? Who's it gonna be?
Whoever, I don't care.
Who you want? Who's gonna have the kids? Okay, yeah. You got daycare.
Good driver and dad. Our mom's husband. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So the 3 of you women are gonna, and like I said, I don't want you to go blow my $25 all at once,
I'll give her the card.
all right? But you guys, and you're going to give me a report. We met on this day. We spoke for this long. You don't have to give me details. And when we met on this day, I want you to give me a report. You're court ordered to do that. She's going to be raise your right hand. You swear affirm to be a temporary probation officer for the 34th District Court?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. She's my probation officer. She's going to keep you on track on this. Okay? Can we do this? If you're going to come back too. We're going to actually sentence you to come back for a 6-month review. You'll set it up.
Yep.
Ms. Belch, you'll set it up. And the two of you can bring mom too. Love to meet mom. The two of you are going to stand in front of me at the end of 6 months and you're going to give me a report on what the relationship is. And then I'll decide whether or not I'm going to dismiss this. All right. So I want to see a real strong effort from both of you to put this as far behind you as the East is from the West. Then it won't have to affect her life because we'll dismiss it at the end of 6 months. You can buy her the t-shirt that says been there, done that, and it's done. Okay? We good?
We're good.
I was going to order 4 days on the work program for you, but these tears have just weakened me. I'm getting ready to noodle down.
You don't deserve that. Look at her. Don't
Okay.
be on the side of no road.
You good?
We're good.
You made my day.
Um,
This is what grace looks like.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Go away before I start crying.
You want to save this in middle contact because we just left it.
I think we probably should. All right. Enjoy my exorbitant gift card. Good day, all. Oh, for the record, no costs. I'm looking forward to that report, Ms. Belcher. Mr. Bradford, have a seat, sir. Good morning. And Mr. Kaplan, are you ready?
We are doing things, we got one preliminary matter.
All right, go ahead.
Judge, in this case, as you know, the defendant has been charged with third-degree fleeing and eluding. We actually undercharged him. He committed allegedly fleeing and eluding third, and with the prior conviction, it becomes fleeing and eluding second, which is a 10-year felony as opposed to the 5-year felony.
And
Therefore, at the conclusion of the exam, I will ask the court to bind the case over on fleeing and eluding second.
okay, Mr. Bradford, you understand what he just told me?
Yes.
All right. Are you ready to proceed, sir?
No, I was waiting for my discovery.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're asking. I don't know what you're waiting for.
See myself.
Okay, any discovery? Okay, all right. Did you have a discovery order? Have you made a formal request for discovery? This is the first time I've seen this file, so I don't have any background on it.
I mean, you told the
That's all right. Take your time.
you know, I think it's the Michigan stimulants. That was just.
Your Honor, if I have permission to speak to the defendant in light of possible increase in charge, it might change the equation for him like the whole.
Sure. You mind having a discussion with Mr. Kaplan about what options are?
Clearly so narrow way that the attorney was instructed to turn over discovery.
Maybe he did, you don't know.
I don't know who the attorney is. I know the quality of people you've got doing this work.
No.
You know the quality of people that are doing this work. We've got some we've got some fantastic attorneys, and we've got some that just going through the motions.
You think that our case, could you just sign the bottom of it?
Going through the motions.
Yeah.
Collecting the paycheck.
Pull that mic down to you. You're Mr. Bradford. Yeah, get that closer. Do we need? They're trying to vote something out. Okay. Do you remember, was it Mr. Williams, the attorney, that was told to give you discovery?
I called actually the someone in the defender's office. She told me his name was Butler, William Butler.
I mean the attorney that Judge Patton told turn over discovery to you. Who was the attorney that heard that from Judge Patton? You know?
He was Butler. It wasn't William Butler.
Butler, I don't know that.
Pull out the show. What team? If Williams was here.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy that represented you last week was Rodney Williams. I just hate to adjourn stuff because that's a whole lost day and that's another couple weeks down the road for you.
But, you know,
Well, let's see what he comes up with. He might offer you something you don't want to roll the dice.
Boy. If we take 400 seconds of in what? I mean,
Oh, I gotta go to,
You're out there?
I gotta go to Altoona to pick them up. But 400 ceilings will probably, if they were all in one bundle, they'd only be about like that.
400?
Yeah, I mean, they're literally, like this and that tall.
I can't imagine planting 400 of those. But that's long,
And that's why, it depends on how good the guys did. The weekend I didn't make it, because what they were supposed to do is get it all scouted out. So this weekend, all we gotta do is go there and put them in, not figure out where to put them. Right, because we had a bunch of different spots where we had to figure out what, determine where in this area we were gonna plant, what we were gonna plant.
It's not all woods. It's not open, you have open property.
No, well, yeah, there's some, but mostly it's woods. But like, for example, one of the things, because I got a grant, and if we do what the grant told us, then they give us money. They reimburse our costs. So for example, one of the things we want to do is plant conifers to give cover to the deer, because conifers create what they call thermal cover, right? So it's shade when it's hot, and when it's cold, it holds with the heat off the ground, it holds it so it's warmer there. So it might be open woods, but they don't have any cover. So we got to decide, do we want a little bedding area there, or do we want a little bedding area there? So the guys were supposed to do most of that last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, when I did go up there.
Well, do you send like a camera up above to see?
A lot of walking,
How many acres?
180,
How many?
480.
I didn't know, I didn't know that.
The trees will actually plant fairly quick, because you use what's called a diggler, it's like a spud. You step that down, you wiggle it back and forth, you pull it out, you stick the seedling in, you step on it, push it down. Then you, 6 of those, then you put a piece of pipe over that, put a weed killer all the way around it, go to the next one.
It seems like it would take a little to do that. You guys haven't done it.
Hope not. No, we haven't done it. This crew hasn't done it before.
Oh,
A couple of them did a couple last year.
wow.
And then anything that's not a conifer, so the oak trees, we got a couple different shrubs that are like elderberry, that kind of stuff. Those all have to be protected. They have to have tree tubes on them to keep the bunnies from nibbling them. And then eventually we got to put a cage around them to keep the deer from the tree. That's not all going to get done this year. Right this weekend.
Is there even water? Do you have a pond?
We got ponds, we got a couple of those here and there.
So how long has this been in your?
Since the 40s. Yeah, going on 100 years.
Oh my God. Does anybody in scope of these signs? Like, is it just the oak leaves?
Yeah, it's my sense, I hope it now.
I didn't realize them.
No, I told you. It's 600 days, 4 acres. So it's over 1 square mile.
So what did you think to the grant? What made you think to do?
I'm just always keep my ears open.
How did you?
Habitat, timber management improvement and wildlife habitat improvement.
Oh, okay.
So like one of the things is if we spend the time and do invasive species eradication, like autumn olive is a big problem, then they'll pay us so much an acre for doing that. So,
That was good thinking.
yeah, it's $40-some thousand over 5 years if we do it all.
It's kind of cool because it only helps you.
It's a lot of work.
Wow, you, but it only helps you. Absolutely. When is it that you guys all grew up as a family, everybody? In July? When?
No. I don't think we've been up there as a family in the summertime. You're not talking about just my family.
For everybody.
Um, between Christmas and New Year's. It was long. Hey, Joe, let Mr. Kaplan know I gotta make a decision. I'm either gonna adjourn it or he can make some kind of an offer, but
Mr. Kaplan,
They can answer the question, original attorney for me.
Yeah.
Attorney William Oaks Court of Appeal. Apparently there was some disagreement with William Oaks vanished from the case, replaced by Rodney Williams. Your Honor, discovery was provided to William Oaks. And then we sent an email today, the last few days, to the second lawyer, Rodney Williams, letting him know that the case is upcoming and, please provide.
who was here last week when Judge Patton said provide two?
I wasn't following the case at that point. Really want.
All right.
But I do know that we've sent the copy the email to their staff regarding.
All right. So we got to adjourn it because we got to get directed to him.
I do have a police report, you're gonna give my copy.
Okay. Do you want more than the police report? You're going to have to tell them what you want. They don't know what you want.
Plans on May 12th.
say it again.
12th at 9 is the next opening.
For who? It's not my case.
Or if
It's yours.
It's gonna stay with us,
I'm just covering because she's not available today.
but that's the next opening
For
for anybody.
yeah, and that's the way we're doing it. But clear?
Your Honor, I'm gonna give him a copy of the papers,
Okay. And I was having my own conversation about scheduling. So what else do you need besides that?
I don't have a video with me, Joe.
No. But we're gonna get him discovery so he can prepare his exam. So you want the body cameras? What else you want?
Everything's from the beginning, I never got.
But sir, everything is not specific enough for me to enforce.
Work. I didn't just take anything.
Arraignment papers are not part of discovery. Arraignment papers are court issue stuff.
Tickets. Anything,
They're
further along in this case, we'll have it.
what he just gave you is written discovery. That means that's all the documentation they have. So anything you want that is not documentation, like a body camera, then you got to ask for that. So you've asked for the body cam. Is there anything else you want?
Witness statements.
That would be wouldn't that be part of your written discovery?
It would be.
So any written documents, if it ain't in there, they don't have it. And if they come up with it at the exam, they can't use it. Follow me? All right. So other than documents, other than paperwork and the body cam, is there anything else you think you want? Okay, now here's the problem. They usually email digital discovery, right? Okay. Do you have access to that kind of equipment in the jail so you can get it?
No, sir.
Then you can't get discovery. I'm not going to order them to walk down there and hand you a laptop at the jail. That's not what the prosecutor's office does.
There's one that's, I'm working on it also is. Since this is taking so long, I'm quite sure I can be, released on that case by the time they see it.
All right. Are you being held on this one? What's your bond on today's file? Do you know? Okay. All right. So do you have any idea when that's going to be resolved? The other case?
It's, waiting on these two cases are coinciding with each other. This one sold me up for that one sold me up for this.
Well, I can give you a new date for an exam on this one, but we still got to get your discovery before that new date. So how are you going to get your discovery? I just asked you that. So if if you give an email address and they email that digital discovery to you, you'll get it.
I'll get it, but I have to be able to see what I'm gonna tell. And get it from the else.
But that's what I'm telling you. You're telling me you can't get out of jail until this case is over. This case ain't over until the exam gets done.
Just like go back to court, show them the progress of this. That's all he wants to see.
Okay, so when are you going back to court on the other one? Sure.
You don't need my help serving as.
No, go ahead. I'm always looking for help.
The discovery, it's not our fault, not your fault that you fired 2 lawyers. Judge, now he has the paper discovery, he can read them in the next hour if you don't mind. We're not introducing body camera evidence, therefore, he has no grief at this point.
So you're going just on officer's testimony for PC purposes?
Yes.
All right, so let's try that. You understand what the purpose for this exam is, right? It's not for them to prove to me you're guilty or not guilty. You understand that? Today is just probable cause. They got which is a pretty low burden. I keep saying prosecutor has to convince me 2 things. 1, that a crime occurred, and 2, that looks like, there's reason to believe you were involved in the crime. You understand that's the burden?
Yeah.
It's a yes or no question, Mr. Bradford. Do you understand the burden? Okay. So what he's telling me is video's not coming in today. He's just going to put that guy right there on the stand, ask him some questions, and establish some facts through his testimony. Okay? I'm assuming, is that your report that he's holding in his hand, House Pro? All right. So his report from the incident is what you've been given. So today, we probably don't have to get into digital discovery. We can get through today, then you'll have something to talk about at your next case.
No, that's the right officer. That was on his face. I don't know.
We're saying it is. Michael,
I don't know if it is either. I wasn't there. But that doesn't change what I'm talking about. So his suggestion is I hold for a minute, just pause. We'll put you back in the cell, give you some time to, digest that paperwork in your hands. And then we'll come out here and we'll do a probable cause hearing, not a trial. And then at least we can accomplish something so you're further along when you go to your next case. And hopefully you're that much closer to being on the street before this trial comes up downtown.
Somebody picked off of this.
Okay. Did what I just say make sense to you?
I don't know. So we'd like to be adjourned, so I can get everything, so I have everything,
we have opposed the motion.
I understand that, but you can't give me a viable way for you to get everything. Everything includes the video footage, right? You're telling me you can't get your eyes on the video they email you until you're out of jail, but you can't give me any idea when that's going to be. Am I missing something? I'm sorry?
You gave me over, so get everything done.
The court date on the other file, you mean? And you think they're going to release you? What if they don't? Then what?
We're ready to proceed now. We have our witness.
I'm going to hold it, Mr. Bradford. You can appeal me. I'm going to hold it. You want some time to review the paperwork before we hold it? Okay. We'll do that. This case is in recess.
Thank you.
All right.
You know what?
Pause. Mr. Bradford, just so I can tell everybody when we're likely to get going. How much time do you think you need before we're ready to go? It's 10 o'clock now. 10:30? Okay. All right. Just so we can all plan. Thank you.
All rise. 34th District Court back in session. Honorable Judge Oakley presiding.
Have a seat. Have a seat. I have yet to find anything that works on this one. Are we ready? Okay. All right. Let's call a witness.
Michael Pro.
Officer, come on up. Raise your right hand for me. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Watch your step on the ramp. Have a seat in that chair. When you get over there, hand me that box of Kleenexes.
Sure.
I don't expect you to get a little weepy today.
I think we'll do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Your Honor.
Yes, please.
Hey, Your Honor. Morning, Officer Powell.
Morning.
Sir, how many years have you worked as a police officer?
About 6 years.
Taking you back to June 22nd, 2024, at about 11:20 at night. Were you working?
Yes.
What were your responsibilities, Officer Pearl, on that evening?
Go, respond to calls and perform my regular duties.
Were you in a vehicle or were you stationary?
I was in the vehicle.
Marked and unmarked vehicle? Were you in uniform or plain clothes? Officer Pearl, on that day, June 22nd, 2024, did you meet a gentleman named Nathaniel Bradford?
Yes.
Is this on the record example? If you want to go and hopefully you know when we speak.
Right,
Let's see where.
or a green.
Your Honor, may the
Sure.
record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant, Mr. Bradford.
Noted for the record.
Are you referring to the,
Well, you said you met a man, Mr. Bradford.
okay, yes.
So what caused you to interact with him or notice him?
I attempted to pull him over. I'm traffic stop.
In the vehicle or was he walking?
Using the vehicle.
You remember the vehicle?
Yes.
What model?
It was a Chrysler Town and Country.
You remember the color?
Purple in color.
Was he alone or did he have an occupant with him in the vehicle?
He had a single pass.
Was Mr. Bradford driving or was he the passenger?
He was driving.
What did you notice about his driving?
I noticed that he disobeyed a stop sign and failed to signal his turn
On what street did that occur?
at the intersection of Belleville Boulevard and Sumter Road.
In what community?
The city of Belleville.
What else did you notice about Mr. Bradford's driving?
I observed that after I had activated my overhead lights, his speed increased significantly.
What does that mean he was a police officer?
He was attempting to flee or elude me.
Officer Pearl, when you first noticed the defendant and he disregarded the stop sign, were you next to him, behind him, or in front of him? In front of his vehicle.
I was, he was coming at me, so we were, he was the front.
Where was your vehicle when Mr. Bradford began to drive at a higher rate of speed?
I'd say in the area of Sumter Road and Owen by 600 Sumter.
Your Honor, I would like to address the court and say that request earlier to increase the charge, the defendant has enough pain right now, and that seek that increase.
Thank you. No problem.
Officer Pearl, when if at all did you attempt to make traffic stop? And what point?
I was passing the Belleville Plaza where Dollar Tree is on Sumter Road.
Can you estimate for his honor the amount of time or the distance you spent pursuing this defendant?
About 3/4 of a mile.
What part of, did you have overhead lights and siren?
Yes.
Did you activate either or both or none of those items?
Oh,
Were they functioning?
yes.
Did Mr. Bradford heed your request to pull him over?
No.
You remember the time this occurred?
This was just before midnight, I believe.
Officer Pearl, did you form an opinion one way or the other whether the defendant knew you were trying to pull him over?
Yes.
What's the basis for having an opinion? What is your?
Can you rephrase this question, please?
Sure. And you activated your overhead lights,
Yes.
and you said you didn't stop doing it.
Correct.
So about a mile,
Yes.
and you increased speed.
Yes.
Did you form an opinion whether he knew you were there trying to pull him over?
Yes. My opinion was he was actively trying to flee.
But sir, ultimately, did you stop him?
Yes.
And when you stopped him, did you make any observations about his state of sobriety?
Yes.
What did you do which enabled you to detect and notice the state of sobriety?
As Mr. Bradford was exiting his vehicle, a partially full can of Corona beer fell out of his lap. As he was being taken into custody, I observed him having bloodshot, watery eyes, slurred speech, and he admitted an odor of intoxicants from his breathless swelling.
Did you inquire of him whether he had consumed any alcohol that late afternoon or evening?
I don't remember if we inquired on his alcohol intake that night.
Tell the judge the status of Mr. Bradford's driver's license on the name.
Revoked.
How do you know that?
His return and leave was leave that.
Now, without telling us the results, did you perform a PPT?
No,
Did you make any efforts to gain any blood or breath from him for analysis?
I asked him if he would be willing to submit to a chemical blood test.
What did he say?
He refused.
Well, did he submit eventually to a chemical blood test?
Yes, we had to get a search warrant.
Did you gain a search warrant?
Yes,
Do you remember from which jurors please? Remember the judge?
I don't remember the exact judge. I'm sorry.
Are you with the one the blood is extracted?
Yes,
Where does that take place?
Orwell can.
Do you remember who extracted the blood or what type of position that person had?
I don't remember her name, but no, she was a registered nurse. I think her last name sort of Italy, like that.
Now, what if anything did you notice about the defendant's breath?
It smelled like intoxicants.
Your Honor, at this point, I would move to admit proposals to the board if I may approach. I've shown a copy to the defendant movie.
Thank you.
Your Honor, what I've just sent to the judge is the lab report issued on July 10 of 2024. Michigan State Police, its laboratory number from me, 2X24 9569. And the result of this blood analysis, according to Michigan State Police, Leland Diane Bennett, forensic scientist, the defendant had blood alcohol level of 0.150. So with that, Your Honor, no further comment.
Are you moving for this to be admitted?
Yes.
Mr. Bradford, any objection to exhibit number 1 being admitted into evidence? Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you've already got him up. Mr. Bradford, do you have any questions for Officer Pearl, sir?
Yes,
Okay. You can stay right there or you can come up at the podium, either one.
you said in the report that you were posting in front of the vehicle down some road. You initiated lights, commercial lights.
No, I initiated my lights after you passed me. I had to turn around, so I was behind you when I initiated my emergency lights.
So then how far was it between the place where you had done a U-turn?
Yeah,
How far was that between the time you took made a U-turn?
it was fairly quick. It was, I turned around and I exited my lights shortly thereafter.
So you said the car was speeding already, or was it fleeing from once?
No, your speed didn't increase until I turned on my lights.
Well, the question was cars already speeding, or
No.
you think that the car was speeding or already fleeing before it stopped?
Let me stop you because I'm confused by the question. I think what you're asking him is, did he think you were traveling over the speed limit before he got behind you? Is that what you're asking him?
Far as the fleeing and eluding.
No. Just, is that the question you want to know? Did he think you were speeding while you were still approaching each other? Is that the question? At that point, while you're still approaching? Okay, you understand that question?
I don't believe you were, no. Technically, you can't even be fleeing if my lights aren't activated. Oh.
That answer the question? Okay, any other questions?
Yes, one other. So after you stop the car, you may have footage on your camera. Stop.
I have footage of the entire incident, yes. Yes.
Any other questions? Okay, any follow-up?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned to the judge about the stop sign violation. Did the defendant commit any other civil infractions in your presence?
He failed to use his turning signal when he was turning on the Sumter Road from Belville Boulevard.
Lastly, can you tell the judge the speed limit of the beginning area, beginning time when defendant fled to when you finally pulled him over? You know what the speed was?
So when he initially started fleeing, the speed limit was 40 miles an hour, and he was traveling upwards of 68 miles an hour. And when we
Was
crossed,
the speed limit ever diminished before he was finally pulled over?
yes,
What's the speed limit in that area where you finally pulled him over?
in the area from the train tracks to where he eventually stopped his vehicle, it's 30 miles an hour.
Thank you so much. Nothing further, Judge.
Any follow-up questions? Yeah, go ahead.
So, the road you said was Belleville Boulevard.
Yeah,
How far is that from the initial stop? How far is that from when we took the route?
Let me stop, because once again, I want to clean up your question. I think what you're asking is from where you pulled out onto Sumter Road to when he did the U-turn, how far is that?
Yes. We seen.
Okay, one at a time. Okay, approximately how far between Bellevilla, Sumter intersection and where you did your U-turn?
less than a quarter mile.
Okay, now the follow-up question would be,
Safety blinker. Stop before, and all of that from point where we were on.
Yeah, I didn't observe, no.
See, it would,
I did not observe you use a turn.
so, orders.
no, I don't think, he said, I did not see you use a turn signal.
Oh, that's all.
Your question is, could he see
Yeah.
that distance?
Yeah, I could see the lack of the turn signal use, yes.
That's it? All right, Officer Pro, you can step down. Watch your, thank you. Watch your step on the ramp. All right. Okay. Are we ready for argument? Go ahead.
In this case, we have proven to you that the defendant drove with an unlawful blood alcohol. We've also proven to you that he was driving while under the influence based on the observations made by the officer. You're running the speed limit in part of the area where defendant was fleeing is 35 or less. So that would enable us, if it's fourth degree fleeing, to be third degree fleeing. It also becomes third degree fleeing because the defendant was a crime of conviction for fleeing and eluding, which is part of the packet. We believe probable cause has been established that the defendant committed count one, Your Honor, fleeing and eluding third degree, count two, OWI third, piggyback one, three, seven. We respectfully would seek a fine over judge on the three counts.
All right, Mr. Bradford, any argument?
Keep that stop, just looking at this. It's story mapping. It's not very fulfilling time. If it was, we should have more before.
Okay, well, you'll probably have more before it's time for trial if that's where this is headed. But my question is, do you have any argument to the bind over in response to the argument Mr. Kaplan just made?
Yes, I'll ask for a preliminary example.
I'm sorry, say what? This is a preliminary examination. Yeah, this is the probable cause hearing today. What we just did was a preliminary exam.
Sorry about that. I'll see that it proved that this was fine, this was legal. Well, see my name's not, stars out my name, I have a single footage of me driving with me.
Okay, anything else? Okay, so as far as identification, the officer's testimony is enough for probable cause to establish your ID. So I'm gonna bind you over on counts 1, 2, and 3. We'll send you downtown for the next step of the proceedings. The next date is the arraignment on information, which will be next Tuesday at 9 o'clock at the circuit court level. Do you have any questions about that process? All right, I'll continue your bond. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Mr. Bradford, please listen to me. Do yourself a favor, take advantage of the court-appointed attorneys. Dude, I mean, you did a decent job with your questioning today, but you're so far over your head on this thing. All right? I tell people all the time, I don't care if you're the smartest guy in the room right now. You still don't have the training and the experience to represent yourself. I know real good attorneys that don't represent themselves when they have problems. Take advantage of the attorneys. Do yourself a favor. I'll sleep tonight. Good luck downtown. Thank you, gentlemen. Be safe, officer.
Driving that purple Chrysler, ignored the stopping sign. 68 in a 40 zone, thought you'd leave the cops behind. But when they pulled you over, what fell right from your lap? A little can of Corona, guess you fell right in the trap. Now you're represent yourself the smartest guy in the room. But that .150 is gonna spell your doom.